Shabbat peace. I think our guest of honor tonight has to be Dean. How much we missed you last Friday, Dean, and so pleased you're back. So let's begin with Shalom Aleichem, and then we'll light our candles. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. So we are on service number 1, page 70, and we're going to go back to light the candles on page 69. So all of you who have candles near, light the candles and bring with a certain blessing for all of us tonight of the intention that you hope you'll bring for this Shabbat. My colleague, Rabbi Lisa Green, who came to talk to us just 2 days before the election in the United States, sent me some Jewish angel cards, which feels most appropriate on the portion when Jacob wrestles with the angel. And I'm just going to pick one, an intention, and see if it inspires any of you. Chazon, I picked vision. So just imagine what your vision, intention, hope is for what you hope to see this Shabbat. Morris Needleman would appreciate this moment of the difficulty of lighting candles. So let's say together our blessing, Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kidishanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat. I'm going to ask you to just pop on over to service number 2 on page 76 to sing Shalom Aleichem, peace be to you, the ministering angels, to sing as we welcome Shabbat.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Asharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech Malachei Amladim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Boachim L'Shalom, Malachei HaShalom, Malachei Elyon.
first two lines from Psalm 96. Shir l'Adonai shir chadash, shir l'Adonai kol haaretz. Sing a new song to the Eternal One. Sing to your Creator, all the earth. Let's offer Lecha Dodi together. We're back on page 73.
לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. Jacob diבור אחד, תשמיענו אל המיוחד, אדוני אחד ושמו אחד, ושם ותפארת ולתהילה, לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. Shabbat b'chur v'niracha, v'imetoa b'racha, rosh mikedem nesucha, sof ma'aseh b'machshava tchila, la 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 lecha lecha dodi, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. בואי ושלום עטרת בעלה, גם בשמחה ובצהלה, תוך אמוני עם סגולה. בואי כלה, בואי כלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לה 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 לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה. לך לך דודי, לקראת לקראת קלה, פני שבת מקבלה.
So having warmed ourselves up, having welcomed Shabbat, some of you are in your kitchens cooking dinner, some of you are sitting with your candles already with a drink ready to begin the weekend and begin Shabbat. Let's go to the Baruch Hu. We're on page 90.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam va'ed.
So the two blessings before the Shema, the first that blesses the world of light and darkness, the passing of seasons, the changing of the hours of the day into night, basically that allows us to be connected to the world of nature. And the second blessing that reminds us even the minutiae of laws in Torah allowed us to feel love, possibly apologetics written in the early Common Era and apologetic to Christianity that reminds us that unending love was shown through Torah. So let's offer together. We're on page 93. You read at home with me. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'dvaro ma'ariv v'aravim, בחוכמה פותח שערים ובתבונה משנה עיתים, ומחליף את הזמנים ומסדר את הכוכבים, במשמורותיהם ברקיע כרצונו. בורא יום ולילה, גולרו מפני חושך, וחושך מפני אור, מביא יום ומביא לילה, ומבדיל בין יום ובין לילה, אדוני צבאות שמו. ברוך אתה אדוני המעריב ערבי.
אהבת עולם, בית ישראל, עמך אהבתם, תורה ומצוות, חוקים ומשפטים, אותנו לימדת, אותנו לימדת. על כן אדוני אלוהינו בשופטינו, ובקומנו נשיח בחוקיך, ונשמע בדברי תורתך, ובמצוותיך לעולם ועד. כי הם חיינו, לאורך ימינו, ולהם נהנה יומם ולילה, נהנה יומם ולילה. באהבתך אל תסור, הננו לעולמים. ברוך אתה אדוני, אוהב עמו ישראל, אוהב עמו ישראל.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד.
שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. שמע ישראל, אדוני אלוהינו, אדוני אחד. ברוך שם כבוד מלכותו, לעולם ועד. לעולם ועד.
אהבת את אדוני אלוהיך, בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה, אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם, בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשופך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, והטבתם על מוזות ביתך ובשעריך.
למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם.
And as we recall that moment at the Sea of Reeds, of experiencing that first moment of redemption, when we witnessed your power, we praised your name, gave thanks willingly, we accepted your rule, and full of joy, we sang together.
מי כמוך באלים אדוני, מי כמוך נדע בקודש, נורא תהילות אוסף אלך, נורא תהילות אוסף אלך, אדוני אלוה לעולם ועד, אדוני אלוה לעולם ועד, לעולם ועד.
ונאמר כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני גאל Yisrael. And as we offer our evening prayer for Shalom Bayit, for peace in our home, for the Sukkot Shalom that we hope all of us have, a protection from famine, distress, despair, and illness, which we know not all of us are free from, but we offer this prayer together.
השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. ושמור צאתנו ולאהינו לחיים ושלום מעתה ועד עולם. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים. השכיבנו אדוני אלוהינו לשלום, ועמידנו מלכנו לחיים.
Baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu v'al kol yoshvei tevel. Let's go together to the tefillah, our Shabbat Amidah, singing with Dean. Eternal God, open my lips that my mouth may declare your praise.
אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך. אדוני שפתי תפתח ופי אגיד תהילתך.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, ve'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, ve'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim v'Konei Hakol, v'Zocher Chasdei Avot ve'Imahot, u'Mevi Gula livnei v'neihem, Lema'an Shemo b'Yahava, Melech Ozer Moshia Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Machaye Metim Ata Rav Lahoshia. Mashiv Haruach Umorid HaGeshem. Mazriach HaShemesh Umorid Hatam. Machalkel Chayim Bechesed. Machaye Metim Barachamim Rabim. Somech Noflim V'rofeh Cholim. Umati Asurim. Umakayem Shnei Av. Mi chamocha ba'al guvurot, umido melech, melech memit u'machaye u'matzmiach Yeshua, v'ne'eman ata lehachayot metim. Baruch ata Adonai, machaye hametim. We're on the foot of page 98. Kadosh ata v'nora shamecha, ve'ein lanu Eloah mibaladecha. We praise you, Eternal One, the Holy God. We praise you, O God, for the holiness of Shabbat. We're on page 100. Eternal God, be gracious to your people Israel, and in your love accept their prayers. May our worship now and always be acceptable in your sight. We praise you, O God, whom alone we worship in reverence. So as we're about to offer Modim Anachnu Lach, our blessing of gratitude, of thanksgiving, Modim Anachnu Lach, we give thanks to you. I invite, as always, for you to share anything this week that has been particularly easy to be thankful for. Pop it in the chat so we can share it together as a congregation. Modim anachnu lach she'ata hu Adonai Eloheinu ve'Elohei avotenu le'olam va'ed. Tzur chayenu magen yishenu ata hu l'dor v'dor nodeh lecha nsapeh tehilatecha al hayenu hamsurim biyadecha v'al nishmotenu hapukudot lach v'al nisecha shebachol yom imanu v'al niflotecha v'tovotecha shebachol et erev v'boker v'tzoharayim. Baruch ata Adonai, hatov shimcha ulacha na'eh lohodot. So let's offer our evening prayer for peace. And yes, certainly Dan has said straight away the vaccine. How can we not feel grateful for that? Every conversation I've had today with all of you that I've talked to has mentioned the vaccine and the possibility of, well, just of some glimmer of going back to normal. So the vaccine definitely. Carry on adding as we offer our evening prayer for peace.
Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. 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 Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Ki ata hu melech adon lechol hashalom. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. Shalom Rav al Yisrael Amcha Tasim Leolam. V'tov b'necha levarech et Amcha Yisrael b'chol עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם. תשים לעולם.
Baruch atah Adonai oseh hashalom. Seeing David's last comment about Spurs. But this weekend is a tense weekend, isn't it, for all those North London fans? So just a word before we take a moment for silent prayer. This is the week, such an extraordinary portion where a great deal happens in this portion. But the thing I'm going to talk about tonight, just briefly, is Jacob wrestling with an angel or an unknown man, or perhaps even part of himself, as he meets them on the way through the desert at night. And so many commentaries looking at what could have been happening for Jacob. But what did happen, whether it was part of himself, whether it was an angel, whether it was a foe that he met on the way, is that he ends up being given another name, Yisrael, which of course, as we know, means to wrestle with God. But what is so interesting, and maybe there is something for us as we pause for silent prayer tonight, is that he keeps both names. And even we, as the Jewish people, when we refer to ourselves as Israel, we still see Jacob through all our texts. Matovu, we'll sing to ourselves and to God tomorrow morning, how beautiful are your tents, O Jacob, your dwelling places, O Israel. And maybe there's a message that actually Jacob has to hold on to both parts of his character, both the Yaakov, the heel, the part of himself, the less confident, the more anxious part of himself, and then the Israel, which perhaps offers more success, but both those parts remain entwined in him throughout his life. And maybe there's something about us holding on to that. This week, I just thought of Robin, one of our newer members, who shares poems for our meditation group, shared a poem by Derek Walcott. And I couldn't help but think about it this week when I read the Torah portion we'll read tomorrow of Jacob wrestling with the angel that many of the medieval rabbis say was probably just part of himself. And Derek Walcott wrote, "The time will come when, with elation, you will greet yourself arriving at your own door, in your own mirror, and each will smile at the other's welcome and say, sit here, eat. So I just want you to think of those parts of yourselves, bring them together for some peace this Shabbat. Take a moment for silent prayer.
Say shalom bimrama, kuya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'al kol bnei Adam. Say shalom bimrama, kuya say shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael. Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom. Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
Let's move over to Aleinu on page 520 and sing with Dean.
Aleinu leshabeach l'Adon hakol, לתת גאולה ליוצא בראשית, אשר שם חלקנו ליכד את שמו, וגמור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. גמור עלינו להמליך מלכותו. ואנחנו גמורים ומשתחווים לפני
So let's turn to the Kaddish together. We're on page 524. I think I got muted there. So let's turn to the Kaddish. We're on page 524. Sit or stand, however your screen is offering you to be able to stay engaged. This Shabbat, we think still of Malcolm Sargent, husband of Jill, father of David and Helen, whose funeral will take place this Sunday. Zichrono livracha. And we think also of the yard sites that fall in our congregation at this time. Alf Kay, father of Anthony Kay. Harry Rosen, father of Neil Rosenweb. Yosef and Bella Rosenbaum, grandparents of Jackie Fawcett. Joanna Selden, sister of Sarah Dibb. And Gellet Touts, father of Patricia Hinson. Zichronam livracha, and may those who are remembering and recalling their loved ones be comforted in their loss as we join them to say together, Yitkadal v'yitkadash Shemei Rabbah, B'yama divrach yotei v'yamlich machutei, B'chayechon u'v'yomechon, u'v'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael, Magala v'zman kari v'imru Amen. Yehi Shmei Rabbah mavorach le'olam Amel Maya. Yitbarach yishtabach, yitpa'av yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitada v'yitaleh v'talal Shemei Kudusha brichu, Leila min kol berchata v'sherata, tushbachata v'nechemata, da amiram b'yama v'imru Amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shamaya, v'chayim aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'imru Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, aleinu v'yal kol Yisrael, v'yal kol b'nei adam, v'imru Amen. So just before we close our service with Dean's Yavarechacha, a blessing for each one of us, whoever you have at home, bless them, and we bless each other as he offers those words for us. Just a reminder that obviously places of worship are open from this weekend. We are not, because we felt we needed a bit more time to ensure all our safety regulations were back in place. We are opening again from next week. We're being as careful, scrupulous about safety as we were before. We have 2 B'nai Mitzvah for the next 2 weeks, and then the end of December. And yes, we will definitely be having a service Christmas Day, Friday night of Christmas Day, and I'll see if the tech team want to be in the building. Otherwise, we'll be doing it from here and Dean from his home, but we will be with you over all of that period. Remember to book in, as the email offered you, to tell us if you'd like to be with us in the synagogue. I really understand and encourage you that if you feel any sense of trepidation, please feel no obligation to return to the synagogue. We are managing very well to hold community tightly in this way across Zoom and all the platforms we're managing, thanks to our brilliant tech team and Leo helping us. So I look forward to seeing you either through the screen or in person whenever I do. And let us end with Yevarechecha.
Yesimcha Elohim K'Ephraim V'chi Menashe Yesimech Elohim K'Sara Rivka Rachel V'Leah Yevarechecha Adonai v'yishmerecha, Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chunecha, Yisa Adonai panav elecha, v'yasem lecha shalom. Yevarechecha Adonai shalom.
So everyone, I just added that Reuben, the prodigal son, returned yesterday from his month away during lockdown with his fellow LJ. Oh, mute keeps not unmuting. So I'm saying our Reuben got home last night from his month in Spain for lockdown with his fellow LJY Nicks. Rafi from our community and Aaron Finkelstein from NPLS. It's very nice to see that the friendships made at Kadima result not just in marriage in Paula and Alex, but in friendships where they go traveling. And yesterday went to the wrong airport as they traveled back from Spain, but here they are. They are safe and sound back again. So grab your drink, whatever you're having, ready to make kiddush. Our chalot, it's been one of those days, are still in the oven. So I would really like anyone who has a challah in front of them. I can always rely, I think, on Alex and Paula to find a challah. No, not tonight. Okay. Anyone, sorry to put you on the spot. Anyone? Oh, great. Myrna's got a challah. Bring your chalot. Anyone who has a challah, fantastic. Mash has got a challah. And is that grape juice there, Mash? That is great. So anyone that has a challah, does Paul not have a gluten-free challah tonight? No. Great, Manon and Jacob. Fantastic. Thank you. Oh, wow. Did you make that, Valerie? Okay. Looks I'm doing very well tonight. Let's start Kiddush. Just a huge thank you. Dean, we missed you so much last week. I hope you hear the stories of us, of how much we missed you the whole weekend. And thank you so much to David and to Michael for managing the desk there, for Leo for teaching us new tricks this week, and for Josie and Paul for welcoming, being at the door. So thank you, everyone. A lovely Shabbat. So delighted to see you all here. I think, Christine, you're the furthest away in California. Welcome, Shabbat Shalom to you, but it can't be Shabbat yet, but we're really pleased that you're with us. So are we ready to offer Kiddush? Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon himhilanu zikaron l'maseh v'reishit ki hu yom tehillah l'mikrayei kodesh zecher l'tziat Mitzrayim kivanu v'charta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'amim b'shabbat kodshecha b'ahava v'ratzon himhaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Amen. Okay, Frank and Valerie, you want to lead us in Hamotzi? Myrna, you want to offer Hamotzi too? Any one of you who's got a challah, do it for us. I don't know whether, Michael, you've got a challah in the sanctuary, but unmute yourselves.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech Hotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Echo.
Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom.